Monday morning. John Bailey needs to do some better housekeeping in his office. This is Bob Meyer's office with a little protruding here and a little opening up in the high here. Everything's inside the main section of the front office area. The ceiling is well collapsed. You can see it throughout the customer service area also. Conference room, ventilated ceilings, tiles all over the floor, minor damage. The raw material warehouse starting in aisle 1. You can see the variety of damage as a result of the earthquake. Pallet shifted, product all over the floor, entire hallways with product missing, product down. In addition to that, you can see the electrical structural fixtures have fallen. Number 2, or aisle number 2 in the raw material, whole variety of pallets have shifted, just all falling backwards and collapsing into the racks. On both sides, most of this is corrugated. We do have Cajun Chef product in the next aisle over, which has leaked down and drums have fallen and leaked into the hallway in aisle 2. Your flashlight down there on the drums. On aisle 3, we have the Cajun Chef product down here, which is in the racks, has fallen out of the racks, is all over the floor. Corrugated all over the floor. As you see, all the corrugated shifted in the racks, resulting in a considerable amount of time going to be necessary to fix. It has roll stock of film on the bottom, not too badly damaged, just needs to be put back in. Corrugated on both sides, shifting in the racks and falling down through the racks as a result of that. Considerable amount of product in this aisleway.
There's a big one. There's a lot of damage. A lot of bend out falls.
Aisle 5 is our film rack. Many thousands of dollars worth of films all over the floor. Probably a number of them damaged out around. We have entire pallets that are sideways. Very serious situation in this aisle. Also, you can see the electrical halfway down the aisle, which has fallen down and is down in the aisle. This is aisle 6. This is where our dry film and jelly products are held. The jelly racks, the drive-ins, look like they're in very good shape. The dry film, as you see, the major rolls that have fallen. Here's an indication of the concern that we have with film falling halfway down in these racks. The dry film towards the end of the building, all the row pack, it is all over the place. This is aisle 7. This is where the drum products are carried on this side here. As you can see, a number of the product is filled in the aisleway. Also on the left side of this aisle is where our starch rack is held. Many of the starch products are all over the floor, and the mixture of the starch and the drum product makes a wonderful texture. This is aisle 8. Raw materials are kept on this aisle, and on the right side we have some corrugated in the drive-ins. The drive-ins seem to do better than most other racks, but still a number of pallets that are sideways in the racks. In addition to that, you can see at the very end of this aisle, in the back wall, there's electrical damage. Electrical fixtures are hanging from the ceiling. Also, in a number of places, the roofing materials actually come loose also. Aisle 9 has a considerable amount of damage from film racks that was kept over here. This discontinued films. that were being depleted. In addition to that, the racks are where we carry a lot of our raw material and product at. This is aisle 10. In aisle 10 you see damage all the way down by the oils area, as well as damage in the area right here. This is aisle 11. The drive-in racks look like they're in very decent shape. We'll be able to keep most of that material. Looks like a number of barrels did drop though. A number of liquid products all over. This is the drive-in bays in front of the cooler. This is where crushed tomatoes kept up here, which is very scary that drum is just hanging there, pallets sideways. We have pallets back here that are broken loose and sideways, and pallets at the top with sweet pickle relish on it. In addition to that, we have mayonnaise, which is the Rykoff mayonnaise, is loose and basically destroyed and dropped all over the floor. We also lost a couple of pallets of honey. There's one pallet of honey up here which is sideways. None of the Taco Bell spice fell, but you can see by looking at the floor that this is all honey, about 2 inches deep all over the floor. Also, a number of the film racks, the film was spewing all over the place, resulting in honey getting all over them. This is the entrance to the cooler. We haven't even opened it yet. And when we look inside, what do we find? We find even more gook and gump all over the place, and it is just oozing out on the floor here. This is not going to be a fun situation for us.
Most of our QC samples and all that.
QC samples, product, drum product, concentrates, all over. Disgusting. Work area over by bulk processing. This is the bulk processing rework, which is now on the floor. The dry storage area in the back here, all over the floor. Apps of one of the racks and all the products on the floor. Looks like a portion of the heater up here actually came loose from the bottom of the heater, and then the electrical units around it, of course, were broken loose. Vinegar tanks. We actually have 3 vinegar tanks that are all hooked up together through one common pipe. A common pipe here that runs along, and this had separated at one point against the second tank. All 3 tanks have drained. We've lost our entire inventory of vinegar. The seams on the high fructose tank, the large high fructose tank that is our old corn syrup tank, the seams have actually fractured, resulting in high fructose sliding down each of the areas. You actually see the seam, and it's bleeding from the seam here. We're going to have to drain this tank and verify that it's still functional. The exchange piece that goes between the high fructose tank and the processing area, this was leaking severely earlier this morning, probably about 6 o'clock, and at this point in time is no longer severely leaking. And you can see that the bolt for holding together the packing is broken, and that's what resulted in the leaking from the high fructose tank. Structural damage on the outside. You can see concrete chipping away from some of the fixtures that are actually holding in the walls, as well as a severe crack next to the wall here in the hock area. Number of rolls thrown on the ground. We're going to have to verify if the rolls are usable. You can see that roll there is oblong and is now out of shape. Damaged roll. Walls throughout the facility. This is a side wall that reaches into the maintenance area. The building physically moved to the point of actually destroying the sidewall and pushing it out. And this is prevalent throughout the entire hallways of this type of damage. Throughout the jelly room are fallen down. This is also true in all the other processing and kitchen areas where the panels have fallen down. The heater exchange duct going up for the air conditioning unit, severe problem and shattered on the floor. One of our weight checkers, I'm not sure if it's going to be mechanically operational after this. We'll check it out though. You can see the damage that's done to the roofing and the lighting throughout this facility. It is just decimated over by the DuPont area. There is no ceiling. Thanks. By the way, just so everybody who watches this tape, we just had another little earthquake and we just had to adjust ourselves. But this is the hallway going down the main hallway, and the jelly rooms on one side, liquid rooms on the other. As you can see, the pieces at the top of this hallway to close in the hallway just gone. Quick view of the freezer because it's cold in here. You can see product damage all over the floor. Entire facility is that way, and my lens is getting fogged up real quick, so we're back out of here.
Can you place it towards the racks over there, to your left?
Yeah, we also have in the corner, we have some severe water leakage. The jelly repack area, product is the UC50 room. Product is all over the floor. Does not look real good. This is the processing area. And you can see primarily we have tile damage and the ceiling collapsing. Brand new ceiling was just put in. In addition to that, there's a number of products that are damaged, open products that are now contaminated, so there will be a lot of scrap created from the situation. We were already in the process of startup. We already had our ketchup going. We also had a number of our jellies and other sauces going. For L8, or our L12 8-inch machines, actually in the small jelly room, had fallen over. It looks like it landed straight on its heater control area, or the PLC. I doubt if that's going to be operational anytime soon. In addition to that, severe damage in the ceiling area in here, which the ceiling needs to be replaced anyways. Everything else in this room looks fine. This is the large liquid room. A piece of the ceiling looks like something very heavy had fallen on it. Matter of fact, we'll see if we see any damage from a beam. Don't see anything, but this looks like it was more than just a simple fall. Within this room, within this room, it does not look like, we have a kettle that's laying sideways, or a hopper. Most of the rest of the equipment appears to be fairly decent condition, not on its side. A little bit of water damage, and it's slippery in here. Conveyors that are on their side. Another 8-up machine. Looks like its leg collapsed or gave out, and it's on its side. This is in section 111. So will be some.
Machine number 10.
That'd be machine 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, the other equipment appears fine. In the large extension room, again, the tiling to the ceiling is severely down all over this entire facility, and we're going out of here. Internal to the maintenance shop, you can see that we had racks fall over. We have canisters of argon and other gases that have fallen over. Let's see if we get a good picture of this. This is just shelving and stuff that has fallen all over. Steve Ashcraft was actually inside the maintenance shop when this occurred. We have a bandsaw laying on its side. Other equipment and pumps all over the place. Take a look at the storage area for the parts. And when you look in the parts area, you see the amount of damage that was. All of the products are actually laying outside all the cabinets. So Steve is very lucky that he got out of here undamaged. Looks the least damaged to any of the rooms. That's because nothing is stacked high, and also nobody was in here at the time. So I don't see any damage to the Wolverine. I don't see any damage to the pipes supporting the Wolverine. For the peat tree, it looks like it's still in good shape. Don't see any damage, obvious damage, and none of the rolls or stacks of film actually fell. Rolls are maintained. You can see a number of things are just turned on their side, which can be corrected fairly easily. Philpack asked for some beautiful lighting arrangements, so what we gave him was some extra view windows. Hopefully Chris will enjoy that, but unfortunately I don't think any of us will. In the distribution center, south end of the building, considerable amount of product all the way down this aisle. You have pallets that are leaning out. This is primarily where Burger King products stored, and a considerable amount of damage. We're going to go through the entire warehouse aisle by aisle. Where FSA, Farmer Brothers, and some other major distributors are stored. One of the problems, and you can see it up in the very back corner up here, is that the sprinkler system for the roof, which is in-rack sprinkler system, was actually broken and severed in several places, which resulted in flooding of the floor, and most of the product that is on the floor as a result of that has been damaged, and some of it will be able to be salvaged with repack. Most of it will need to be donated. It's very difficult to offload these. Most of this facility in the back corner through each of the aisles looks this way. In addition to that, we have light fixtures that are fallen from the ceiling. Aisle 4, we have pallets, we have product all throughout the aisles. We have boxes that are bursted open. This is prevalent, like I said earlier, throughout this facility. This is aisle 5 over here. Still consistent with the others. Significant amount of product throughout the aisles. Within the cooler, we have product that has fallen down. Not a significant amount. The cooler, since it's only 3 high, fairly tightly packed, doesn't look as bad as some of the other aisles over here. Second aisle's fairly severe. Pretty slippery in here. Ooh, back aisle. Oh, of course. Back aisle, of course, looks the worst. So, the hold area, it looks like we know what we're going to do with most of this stuff. Fairly severe damage. Even on the dock, we have loads that are shifted and fallen all the way and fell down. And so did most of the product within this aisle. This is a wide aisle, and product is just everywhere. Aisle 7, this Cisco product, portion controls, all over. Matter of fact, you have pallets, as you see from the far end of this aisle, that are literally hanging into the aisleway. And you have pallets that are sideways in the racks. Again, we have light fixtures that have fallen to the floor. Aisle number 8 is Cisco bulk product. Literally thousands of cases of product on the floor, and a lot of these products are bag-in-the-box for 41 gallons, resulting in damage to it that will not be able to be repacked. Still, we have a significant number of pallets that are hanging off the edge, which will be very important on how we handle the cleanup. This is aisle number 9, still Cisco aisle. We can even see the far end of this aisle where you have damage hanging down from the firewall separators, fire extinguishers on the ground, lots of product. This is aisle 10. Aisle 10 looks like a total disaster. This is primarily Borden product. You can see off to the right hand side here that we have a number of pallets still hanging sideways in the racks, cornstarch all over, and a variety of other products. Aisle 11, for some reason, a lot of product is not in the aisles. This is the wide aisle. However, you can see that we have a lamp in the aisle. In addition to that, you have real lemon product in this aisle, which is glass product, which is all over the floor. We have, again, significant product in the aisles. A lot of bulk product and tub products. You see the tubs were actually opened up and all over the floor. It is severely flooded back in this section, and you can see that there's a number of products that are all over the floor. You can see all the water that's in the floor, and this is hour and a half, 2 hours after the water's been turned off. You can see pallets that are sideways up in the racks that are hanging. Only thing that's saving them is a stretch wrap. You see other pallets that are hanging in the racks that are tilted sideways, and there's a number of those sitting up here. And boy, team, once again, product all over the floor. And this piece of the paneling for the firewall. This is aisle 15. In aisle 15, we have another light down. Looks like 2 or 3 lights down in this aisle. In the back part of it, not a lot of product, but a lot of water and some DuPont bag product. Aisle 16, we have product literally all over the floor and splashed all over a number of pallets to the side. Not as much product on the floor in this aisle in total, though. A couple of things. Couple more lights down. Really clean. Aisle. Only about 3 pallets look like they dropped in this area specifically. Maybe a couple more than that, and a number of them are halfway down or tilting and need to restack and verify. Looks like we lost a couple of pallets of sweetened condensed milk. The pallets look like they actually collapsed and broke.
Folders.
This is the back side of aisle 19, aisle 20 I guess it is. You can see what happened with sweetened condensed milk. Also Snow's chopped clams and American Original sea clams. Back in the forklift area that has actually shifted on the floor. Looks like it may have done some damage to the wires. Hopefully nothing major. Getting shoved out of their slots all throughout this area. Rights area where the labels are kept. A number of labels all over the floor. A number of corrugated that's used for repacking all over the floor. Doesn't look too bad, but a little bit of problem.